Welcome, Hero family. What brings you guys in today?
Our daughter, Molly, has been acting really,
First blame's on me.
Molly, please keep going. Our daughter, Molly, has been acting really out of control lately. Just not listening to anything, just really confrontational and aggressive with us, specifically us.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason why we're here. She's misbehaving. She's aggressive when she speaks, and she never listens to us and is not wanting to cooperate with us.
Molly, how old are you?
13.
And what's it feel like to hear them talk about you?
I feel angry because the reason why I'm acting the way I'm acting is because of them. I'm trying to divert the situation because they're always yelling at each other, always screaming, and I'm sick and tired of hearing it. So I think, fine, if I start yelling or I start acting up, they're going to stop. But then it just gets worse and worse, and it's ridiculous. I'm really over it, sick and tired of it.
She's always blaming us for.
You guys are the problem. You guys are the problem.
But Molly, you take no blame for anything.
You are the problem. I'm 13
Look
years
how,
old.
I mean, look at even how we are the parents, and look how she talks to us. It's, I mean, this, I would never talk to my parents.
I can't even listen to them. I'm so over it.
So you're feeling a little bit of, you're feeling tension from mom and dad.
Yeah.
So what is that tension like? Describe a typical argument between mom and dad.
Mom is always yelling at dad because dad's drinking too much. When he's not drinking too much, he's just drinking. It's my turn to talk. Let me have the floor for 2 minutes. He's drinking because he's had a really hard day at work. Like, he works really, really hard. She's always in her room crying. Like, she's always, like, in her bed. God knows what she's doing. Like, I just don't understand, like, why she has to nag him all the time.
Because he drinks.
He does not drink. He has one drink a night.
Does one drink a night.
Has
one drink a night.
Let's take a deep breath.
You must be sitting in the bars counting because he's never home.
All right, Mom. So Dad, I'm hearing drinking. Can you tell me a little bit more about what they mean when they say you drink?
I'm not really sure what they mean. I mean, I don't have an alcohol problem. So when they talk about me drinking a lot, it's ridiculous. My father had a beer every single time he came home from work to distress, and their marriage was fine. My parents were great parents, I think.
Okay. Mom, what do you think about Dad's drinking?
I think he drinks too much, and I think he drinks because he doesn't want to be around us. And he's mean when he drinks.
Not true.
He wants to be around me.
Okay, so I think at this point it would be a good idea if we did a family genogram, which is basically a more in-depth version of a family tree, because I heard that you mentioned that your dad also drank when you were growing up. So I think if we can kind of see some generational patterns, it might help illuminate some of the different issues that we're seeing within. So how does that sound? Sure, good. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing Molly. So because Molly's the oldest, she goes over here, and a circle is female. And then I'm going to put Daisy, I'm going to put you over here. And then I'm going to draw Dad. Dad gets a square. And Mom is circle. And so you guys are married, so I'm going to connect you this way. And then this means that these are your 2 children. And then I'm going to draw Dad's parents up here. So Dad's dad goes here, and Dad's mom goes here. So you mentioned that your dad drinks alcohol pretty regularly, right?
Yeah, he would drink every day.
Okay, so I'm gonna fill this bottom half of his square, which just means he's using alcohol. And what was your parents' relationship like? What was mom and dad like growing up?
It just depended. It depended. Like when my dad was drunk, he became aggressive, and in that sense, he was. I guess the relationship was hostile. But when he wasn't drunk, it was a pretty close relationship, I think.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a jagged line just to kind of indicate that sometimes there was tension between the relationship. Does that seem fair to describe them?
Sure.
Okay. And then Mom, what was your parents like growing up?
Their relationship, I mean, it was good. They definitely, I felt like they really loved each other. I feel like they really love each other. They had the typical, they would fight, but a lot of love for sure.
Okay. Well, So it was pretty loved and supported growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And then, Dad, since you mentioned that you drink too, I'm gonna shade in your bottom of your box to indicate that there's some alcohol use happening here. And I'm also gonna put a jug of wine because it sounds like sometimes there's more fighting than the average couple might endure. Is that fair?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So looking at, and then this is a very simple version of a genogram. It usually goes more in depth. We'll put ages and birth dates and ethnicities and cultures and religions, which I will fill out based on your intake form, and I'll show a more complete genogram next session. But I think this sort of gives us a good idea of some of the family patterns that we're seeing. So I'm wondering, Dad, if you could take a look and notice some patterns that you're seeing.
Yeah, I noticed on my side of the family, like my parents' side of the family, there's some alcohol use, and that could be a reason why I drink alcohol. I don't know. I mean, could be, maybe. And then my parents' relationship was hostile, and I see that our relationship can be hostile. So those are some patterns that I see.
Absolutely. And what tends to happen in families when parents are fighting is oftentimes a child can act out in order to stop that fighting. The fighting makes everyone uncomfortable and they want to stop, so they'll become the problem. So the focus switches from whatever problem you two are having to what Molly's dealing with. And we see that a lot in families. So I think that, I know that you guys kind of came in to help with Molly, but I think Molly's issues are a byproduct of what's happening here.
Yes, finally. Thank you for taking my side.
So you think it's our fault?
I still say she has you.
No. She just clearly said that it's you guys.
Okay, so I think I want everyone to kind of feel heard and listened to. So what I'm going to turn to Mom and Dad right now, if that's okay. I'll come back to you too. But,
Always.
I want to make sure that we kind of deal with it. So I don't think.
Tension's always on you guys. Go ahead.
So I don't think. I don't want to necessarily say that Molly's behavior is your fault, but I think a lot of times kids don't like to see their parents fight. So I'm wondering if you can, if you guys can turn to each other and using I statements. Why don't you tell Mom, Dad, you tell Mom how you feel, or how you're feeling when you decide to start drinking alcohol.
Every time I come home, you're always nagging at me, and the reason why I don't like coming home is because I come home to a nagging wife.
What do you mean nagging?
You're always complaining and blaming everything
I
on me.
complain because you never come home. I text, I call, I try to make your favorite dinner, try to any sort of incentive so that you'll actually come home after
But I
work.
don't come home because
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt you guys. I'm going to ask you to continue using I feel statements so you can stick to that pattern. So Mom, why don't you tell Dad how you're feeling?
I feel sad. I feel sad for me. I feel sad for you. I feel sad for the kids. I feel lonely. I wish I had when we started this, I thought we were going to be partners, and I feel like it's just me. And she's acting that way, and
You're pushing him away
I can't
by
do
saying that he's always drinking.
because he is.
No, he's not.
I can't do this by myself. I'm tired. I work a full. I have a career as well, and I just feel like I'm doing this all by myself, and we need you.
So Dad, you're absent a lot, right? That's what I'm hearing from Mom and
Yes,
Dad.
definitely.
So
No,
it sounds to me like
He's not that absent.
Yes.
okay, so
so she doesn't think I'm absent.
okay, so it sounds to me like the alcohol abuse happens when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling like you can't be present, and similar to how your dad used alcohol. And I'm wondering, it seems to be a coping mechanism, right?
Yes.
So I'm wondering if you've had other coping mechanisms when you're feeling anxious that you've used in the past.
I used to work out a lot. I used to go out running, hiking, and sometimes I would even go to the gym. Sometimes when I would feel stressed out at work. So I guess that's something that I can start doing now.
Okay. I like that idea. I think that could be the coping.
I could try.
All right, and Mom, what's going through your head when?
I mean, that sounds great. I mean, I'm all for whatever it takes to get him home. As long as he's not at a happy hour and I don't have to call the bars looking for him. Like, I'm always calling the same 3 bars looking for him. I mean,
Oh, the negative comments again.
Molly, seriously, would you let that,
Bar,
this is
bar,
my
bar, bar.
turn
That's
to
the only
speak.
word they use. I'm calling you bar, bar.
Molly.
He's at the bar.
Okay, let's do it.
And where is he?
He's at work.
9 out of 10
He's
times
working.
where is he?
He is
Okay, guys,
working.
guys,
Till 2 a.m. When's the last time
He's
Dad had
working.
dinner with all of
It's
us?
a very hard job. He's working.
Molly. Okay. So, what I'm hearing is that maybe if Dad comes home rather than going to the bar after work, then you'll feel better and maybe you can ease up a little bit. And Dad,
What do you mean by ease up?
like, Dad, why don't you explain to Mom what bothers you when you come home? Why you decide to go to the bar instead of coming home?
I feel that that I'm not able to relax when I come home because she's always complaining. So I feel stressed out and overwhelmed. That's what I feel.
You know, like I said, I feel like we need you, and I just want it to be how it used to be. If you need 20 minutes when you come home, I can try that. Whatever it takes to not have you drinking, whatever it takes to have you here.
If you can give me 20 minutes when I come home, I think that's good enough. I think that would help me relax.
I'll try whatever.
Okay. So it sounds like we have some things that we can try next week. So if you guys are up to it, why don't we try, Dad can come home after work. Mom will give you 20 to 30 minutes to kind of decompress. You kids as well. I know it's really exciting to see Dad when he comes home, but maybe a few minutes to just let him relax and kind of separate himself from work. And you guys can do your family, the things that you guys used to do as a family. And then if that anxiety starts coming, maybe try running or jogging instead of going to the bar and taking a drink. How does it sound, everyone? Do you like that plan? Good.
You can do it, Dad.
Thank you. She's
Well,
my favorite.
I like the encouragement.
He's my favorite.
Okay, so let's try that for next week, and then we'll see how it's going next week, and we'll check in then. Good? All right, thanks for coming, guys, and I'll see you next week.
Yes.
Thank you.